World War I, also known as the Great War, was a global conflict that lasted from 1914 to 1918. It involved the major powers of the world at the time, including the empires of Britain, France, and Russia, as well as the Central Powers of Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. The war resulted in the deaths of millions of people, the destruction of cities and infrastructure, and significant changes to the political and social landscape of Europe and the world. There were several factors that contributed to the outbreak of World War I. These included: 1. Militarism. One of the main causes of World War I was the buildup of military and naval forces by the major powers. This was driven by a belief that a strong military was necessary for national security and prestige. The arms race between the major powers created tension and distrust, and contributed to the feeling that war was inevitable. 2. Alliance systems. The major powers had formed alliances with each other in the years leading up to the war. These alliances created a complex web of relationships that made it difficult for any one country to remain neutral in the event of a conflict. When one country declared war, its allies were obligated to come to its aid, which helped to escalate the war. 3. Imperialism. The major powers were competing for control of colonies and territories around the world. This competition created tension and conflict between the powers, and contributed to the feeling that war was necessary to protect national interests. 4. Nationalism. Many people in Europe were proud of their country and culture, and believed that their nation was superior to others. This sense of nationalism created a climate of hostility and distrust between countries, and contributed to the willingness of people to go to war. 5. Assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. On June 28, 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the throne of Austria-Hungary, was assassinated in Sarajevo by a Serbian nationalist. This event was the spark that ignited the war. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, and other countries were soon drawn into the conflict. The war was fought on multiple fronts, including Europe, Africa, and Asia. It involved trench warfare, chemical weapons, and the use of new technologies such as airplanes and tanks. The war ended in 1918 with the defeat of the Central Powers and the signing of the Treaty of Versailles. The treaty imposed harsh penalties on Germany, including reparations and the loss of territory, which contributed to the rise of nationalist and fascist movements in Germany and eventually led to the outbreak of World War II. In conclusion, World War I was caused by a complex set of factors, including militarism, alliance systems, imperialism, nationalism, and the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. The war had a devastating impact on the world, and its effects were felt for decades to come.